The film starts and we are shown a little girl named Nuri. It was her birthday today and she was feeling very different today. When she saw a cat in front of the window, she raised a cat-like mustache on her face and she started playing like a cat. As soon as her dad came up, Nuri, who was a cat, came out on her wings and her dad got a little worried seeing her. Actually, Nuri lives in a world where many people have magical powers. And Nuri's magical power was to shapeshift. She could take the form of any animal. Nuri's friend also had the powers to control fire, so they were going to go to a magical school now. It was important for Nuri to join this school because she did not have control over her powers. Whenever she shapeshifted, she became a hybrid of 2 to 3 animals instead of 1. All the children's parents came to leave this magical academy. They felt that someone from the school will send a bus from here. But that did not happen. Taking the children to the jungle, a magical portal opened there. On going inside, these people were finally in their school. Their cell phones were not working in the school. No, all their links from the other world were over. In their thoughts, Linda comes in front of them to give them the introduction of the school. She tells that all the children will be divided into 5 categories according to their powers. The first group was of fuzzies, which people could talk to animals. The second group was flickers. Such children can pull anything towards them with their telekinesis powers. The third number is flares, which can burn fire with their hands and can also control fire. The fourth group was of flares, which could fly in the air. And the last, the fifth group was of fuzzers, which could take the form of any animal. Nuri thought that she would also come in this group, but no one knows what will happen next. All the children's powers are known one by one. The first test of flares was to burn a 2-meter-long candle with your hand. A girl named Flip did this work in a long time and they cut it and sent it out. The second number is of flares, which could take out smoke instead of fire with her hand. That's why she was also cut and sent out. Now it was finally Nuri's friend Raina's turn, who lit the candle with her little finger and put it in the group of flares. The second number was the test of those children who could talk to animals. There was a dog and the children had to understand all the things of this dog. In the third test, some children were put in front of the house. The third test was of flares, which could take the form of animals to the name of the Frank. The fifth test was of flares, which were placed on the area, in other words, the first house. It was also the first test to clear the frogman into the petrified accounts that my abandlori fell down and get stuck, and for 5 seconds did this animal panicked and did not move. So some of me ended up catching of flares, which have to be understood for this small in order. Towards a little further, Effer was in the corner, while in the back, Yenrei helped her. Then into the corner it was Da Poppy Bronze and caught it in my hand high. To bring him down, the professors used a ladder and also gave him a white card. Finally, it was the turn of Nori's group, where all the children had to be shown as a cat picture in front of them. Everyone shifts the shape, but Nori can't shift the shape for more than 3 seconds properly. She becomes a hybrid, that is, a mixture of animals, and fails the test and is also given a white card. After completing all the children's tests, all the children gathered on the ground. Here all the children had to find out which group they had gone to. Reina had become a part of the Flare group, but Nori had been left in a group called UDM, and such a group was not introduced by the principal to them. When Nori asked this question, the principal showed her a new way to UDM, and the rest of the children went to the canteen to take their uniforms. UDM's headquarters was down in the jungle. Here his welcome is called his professors and they come to know that these people are here. No one is going to learn any magical power because their powers were useless. So they had to be taught like ordinary children until they forget about their magical powers. And after that they were left back in their world. Hearing this, Nori's heart broke. Here the other children were also present who had failed their test. When Nori was completely confused, her principal Linda came here, who told her that UDM means upside down magic. The magic that is not considered a miracle at all. That's why children are given normal education. She told that she started UDM many years ago because of a child. That child was attacked by Black Shadow because of upside down magic. That is, black powers were attacked, which always harm people. Then to fight that child, all the professors used their powers and locked that child in a book. The principal told that this shadow magic does not work without going into the body of any child, and this shadow magic makes the children of upside down magic their prey. That's why now the principal does not give the training of magic to the upside-down children. On the other side of the scene, we are shown the class of Reina, which was a flare. The professor told them that in the next 5 days there is going to be an annual function, in which 5 children will be able to show their magical powers in front of everyone. For this, each professor was going to choose 2 special children from his group. After that, one of them had to perform in the annual function. The professor first asked Reina to show her powers. She had to make popcorn with her powers of fire. She was doing very well before, but when the children from behind distracted her, then suddenly her popcorn burned and she was scolded by the teacher. Here on the other side, the children of UDM are taken to a special cabin by their Professor Bert. The children thought that maybe they will get to learn some magic. But there was a lot of broom there. But this broom was not magic. This broom was not given to clean the whole school. With the children of UDM, this used to happen here. Nuri reached the class of shapeshifters while cleaning, where the teacher was giving the class of transforming all the children like a cat. Along with that, she also told that on the annual Founder Day, a child can also show off his powers in front of everyone. Hearing this, she started thinking of something, and now she decided to practice her magic. With the help of Nuri, she reached the class, and she took the cat caught in the teacher's hand. And she saw him well, so that he takes a form like him. But here her powers deceived her again. And she turned into a strange and poor animal like a chicken and elephant. Seeing this, the professor got angry. And they shouted and called Professor Bert to control Nuri. Because they knew that if the principal got the news that Nuri was using her magic, then there could have been a lot of trouble here. Anyway, after sorting out this matter, Nuri now comes to her group, and tells them everything, and tells them how all the children will show off their magic on the annual Founder Day. She also tells here that she has also decided that she will also make her magical powers better and perform in front of everyone that day. For this, she had seen the cat well. Now she had to practice how she became like that cat. When Nuri was talking to her group, Reino stood away and saw her. Reino and she were childhood friends. Reino did not stay away from her, and when she went to meet her, then her professor stopped her saying this. That one child with powers, the other group with magical powers. Anyway, the next day in Reino's class, we were shown that the professor had selected a child named Slip instead of Reino for his competition, because he had made the popcorn very well. Here when Reino was going back to her room from the class, then she met her senior. She says to him, I have seen your powers. Your powers are amazing. If you want to make them good and better, then I have many ways. Reino does not listen to him. But to become a good magician herself, she was so good with her. And then she had a very good book, that she was even reading books. And at night, when she was putting the book back, then suddenly, a black book fell from the shelf. She picked it up and put it back on the shelf. Then the book was following her again. Actually, the book was Shadow Magic's book. When she saw it, Reino was amazed. She opened the book right away. So all the lights here were also off. She was scared and put the book back, and she took her stuff and ran away from here. But we were shown that the book was following her, and she was on her bed before reaching her room. On the other hand, we saw that Nuri was also practicing magic with her heart and soul, but she couldn't stay as a cat for more than 3 seconds. All the kids of UDM had a lot of fun with each other, and the next day when Reino saw this, she was very sad, because she felt that she had lost her childhood friend Nuri. With a sad mind, as soon as she sat on the bed, she got the same book on her bed. When she woke up and read it, her pages started turning on their own. And after coming to a chapter, those pages stopped turning, in which it was written how to raise your power. As soon as Rana picked up this book and started reading it, black clouds started forming all around her, and all those black clouds suddenly went into her body. Anyway, it is shown that now all the children came to see that competition, which was to happen between 2 children in each class. First of all, this competition takes place between Reno and Philip. Everyone thought that Philip would win, but Reno made all the popcorns before the time he was given. When the teacher tasted these popcorns, their taste and flavor were also perfect. And so Reno won this competition. In the same way, Reno was chosen to show his magic on Animal Day. After the selection of all the children, when this event was about to end, so after running, Nori came in front of all of them. And she said to the principal that she has been practicing her magic for many days, and she feels that now her magic is better. She should be given a chance to show her ability. All the professors agree, and she quickly turns into a cat. But more than 3 seconds, she could not keep herself transformed. The popcorn came out of her stomach, and then she turned into a big animal. That is, her powers were still not in her control. As soon as Reno used her powers to control her friend, then we came to know that her powers have also increased several times, on which she was not in control. In this way, her friend was also going to die from her power and fire. But somehow she came to her real state and escaped from it. Reno apologized to her, and Nori also apologized to her, saying that it is not your fault. But here, Principal Linda scolded Professor Bud a lot. All the students of UDM came to his class and were sad, because they knew that now, they will never be able to use their magic. Today, Professor Bud was also angry with his insult. He says to all the children, "Enough is enough. Now we will not see this drama." Here, Professor Bud tells these children that many years ago, he was also a student of UDM. And then they were given a job for UDM. They were never allowed to use their magic. Now they know that whether they have a job or not, but now they will not hurt the feelings of the children of UDM. They will make them practice their magic, even if they have to take them away from school. They come to the jungle with all the children. Here, Professor Bud showed his talent. He started singing here, and as soon as he heard the song, all the animals in the jungle came to him. He said that I did not speak like other fossils. Rather, I could talk to these animals by singing. That's why they did not keep me in the group. But he came here and practiced his magic secretly, so that he forgets it. Here, today's class is over. And going back, Nuri starts thinking about Rhino. His magic was never so powerful and full. She thought that there is something wrong with her magic, so she decides to meet Rhino. As soon as Rhino went to her room, she saw that her senior is standing in her room. She has a black magic book in her hand, and she says to Rhino that today, because of her book, your power has increased so much. Rhino was getting angry at this book. Because of this book, his sister was going to die like a friend. In anger, she tells her senior to take this book and leave from here. But surprisingly, that book comes back to her room. Then she knocked on the door. She opened it and saw that Nuri was standing outside, who came to meet her. Seeing her, Rhino hugged her, but she did not let her come into the room, because it was a book with shadow magic inside. And if Nuri had seen it, her curtain would have been opened. She was thinking about a little kid at the exit. That was Zaya Matt Terry. She used to play with one of the same friends, who was standing toward her and wanted to meet her again. Nothing was lost. Her brother lost it. But still all the best friends are around. They met the best friends in the world. Reno and Oki took nothing, though they spent so much time together, but emphasized their friendship. Reno and Oki became friends with Sifi. They started using their magic together. Here the boy whose hand used to smoke instead of fire, he started shaping his smoke. The girl who could not throw things away from her with the help of telekinesis, she started moving things in the right direction. While Nuri tries to make a hybrid of different animals instead of keeping herself as one animal, in which she was performing very well. Here it is shown in the school that all the children were enjoying, but Reina was sad. At this time, Chandra came to her, with which Reina did not want to talk. She tells her to go from here, but it is found that this girl named Chandra has also used the Book of Black Magic, due to which her powers have increased a lot. All the children see Reina talking to some. Then they ask her, "Who are you talking to?" With which she comes to know that Chandra has disappeared with the help of black magic. And apart from that, no one is able to see her, because she also put black magic inside her. Anyway, Reina did not want to talk to her, so she ran away from her. But Chandra still came in front of her, and she explained to Reina that you are not able to understand. Maybe you do not have the sense of your powers. Your powers are many times more than any child here. Chandra kept telling her things. She kept telling the benefits of shadow magic. And after coming into her talks, Reina surrendered herself to shadow magic. Now at night, when Nuri came to meet Reina, so Reina's class fellows told her that Reina was talking to a shadow. And Nuri understood that that black shadow was not only for the children of UTM, but it can target any child. Here we are shown the terrible form of Reina, which says to Chandra that soon this whole school will be destroyed. At this time, her eyes were also completely black. Nuri was standing behind her at this time, although Reina did not see her. But she again said that if Nuri wants to save her life, then she should run away from here. Nuri also ran away and came to Professor Burt and told them the whole story. All the children decided to tell this to the principal, but Professor Burt stopped them by saying that the principal never believed in their words. Professor Burt knew that that power will definitely attack the annual function the next day. So they started making a secret plan here. which will be shown to us the next day, when all the children were gathered in the school garden. So the principal called Raina first to show his magic. Instead of getting up, Raina first wrote something in the air and welcomed everyone. After that she came on the stage and she told that she has prepared her special magic for today. She now started making a ball of fire with her hands, which got bigger as soon as she saw it. And at the same time, Raina's shadow also began to dominate the whole school. Now a voice came out of that fireball which said that I have come back after waiting for many years. And most of all Professor Linda. When everyone realized that there is black power inside the rhino. So here the black power also came in front of everyone. Everyone had just realized that shadow magic is upside down. And that is why it is called black power. And that is why it is called black power. Yes, this magic doesn't make the children its target. In fact, any child can become its victim. But for now, to stop this black shadow, Professor Arden and all its students make a big ball of fire. But this black shadow does not do anything to it. After this, at the request of the principal, the group of professors called many animals. But these animals could not do anything to this black shadow. After that the shapeshifter changed its form, so those people changed to such animal, which could not with any monster. At the end, the kids of UDM came in front of them. When they came, they could use their magic in the form of a team. First of all, a girl with the help of her telekinesis power started pushing this shadow away from here. After that, a boy named Elliot made a wall out of smoke coming out of his hand so that this shadow could not see the people here. Then Andre, who had the power to fly in the air, also flew in the air so that he could distract the attention of this shadow. And finally, at the end, Nuri turned into a very big dragon who could fly and fight with this shadow. Now, Professor Linda also told all the children to work in the team like these people and said that all the children should use their magic together on that shadow. But Nuri stopped everyone. She told everyone to stay away from here, because she knew that behind this shadow is her friend whose life she wants to save. Now Nuri started saying something to this black shadow, and suddenly, that black shadow disappeared from here with a bullet of a big fire. Actually, Nuri had awakened the power of her friend Rhino. And Rhino finished that shadow with the power of his fire. After that, she became unconscious. When she came to her senses, everyone came to know that that black shadow has now ended forever. The children of UDM, who were considered useless by the principal today, those same children had saved their academy. That's why this whole UDM program was ended from that day. Such children who had different magic also started using their magic, and Professor Bert was also made the professor of complete magic here. And that's it. Showing these stories to everyone, this story ended here.